Hello peeps, I know it's been a while, sorry for keep you in the dark for the past month and a half, but a number of things happened, including me getting kind of like sick. Apparently it was not COVID, but still was like 2 or 3 weeks where I kind of like lost my voice and I had a lot of nasty cough and fever. So I did spend some time doing some research, specifically on Instagram. I continued to read the book of 1 Million Followers by Brendan Kane. I also read a couple of articles online and watched a good amount of videos on YouTube just to see if there were any extra things that I wasn't taking into account. And yes, there were some things that I started to apply on my barely started Instagram account. Hi, my name is Gonzalez, and in this channel I basically put everything that I try on my own art business, like the ideas and the research, so that it can serve as a guide for both you and me and any artist out there that is looking to make some money out of their art. So if you're interested in this, consider subscribing. So if you're an artist and you have done a little bit of research on how to get noticed on Instagram, you've probably heard that what you need to do is to first focus on your art, to improve your art, and also more recently to upload more videos rather than posts, because watching videos is becoming more and more common and popular every day. And while this is true, and probably just following these two and be constant about it will take you somewhere, I also found a couple of things that might be useful for you, and I think that it has to do with things that are already there, that you're seeing them but you don't pay too much attention to them. And one of these things is the hashtags or the caption. This part is super important because it doesn't matter if you make a really cool piece if nobody sees it, or nobody wants to engage with it, or nobody wants to share it. And both the caption and the hashtags play an important part here. If you spend a good time to think like, what is the first impression that someone's going to have whenever they look at my post? Are they going to ask themselves like, how do I download this? Is A is better than B? What do you think about this product? If you think that way, then you can come up with a caption that kind of like solves that, or kind of like invites them to comment in your post. So spend a good time to invite people to engage with your comment, because this is going to allow people to get involved into your community or into your art more easily. And the hashtags, this is something that in the past I would just like try to think of 30 words that have to do with the pieces that I just uploaded and didn't check anything, just be like counting like, okay, it's 30, and then you just post it. But apparently it has like an entire science behind it, and you can spend a good 3 hours like making a master like template for you to post your artworks that actually I'm going to show you. So this is Notion, and here I started to write down like the research that I did on the hashtags and also this table. And basically what I found is that you want to check on the health of the hashtags and how many uses they have, and try to come up with a combination of hashtags that is best for you. Because what you want, or what will help you with hashtags, is for you to have your post shown in the top posts of any hashtag. Let me show you what I mean by this. So if you search for a hashtag in Instagram, you will see like, for example, this wallpaper, you'll have these top posts, and in the app you also have the recent ones here. But anyway, what you want to do is that whenever somebody searches for a hashtag, it will show up here, because these posts are the ones that are going to be most likely shown to people who follow a hashtag and they don't search it for it manually, but they just show up in their feed. And if you use like hashtags like that are really popular, such as wallpaper, or in my example that I'm making masks, if you use this, you will see that you have millions of posts that have been used in these particular hashtags. So it's going to be really difficult for you to stand out on those, especially if your account is small like mine right now. So it's best for you to use like less large hashtags. Then you have these medium hashtags that have like from 50k to 500k. So these you can use like a little bit more, but the ones that you want to focus more is the small ones that have like 1k to 50k. But you also need to check how healthy they are. And what I mean by how healthy they are is that if they are currently being used. Because if you find like a really good hashtag that it has like probably, I don't know, 10,000 uses, then you probably think that that's a good one. Probably that was like a hashtag that was like growing and then it just died. So what you need to do is to go to that hashtag and see when it was posted. For example, this one was posted a day ago. And if you see that all of these posts were used in this probably couple of days, then you're probably on a good track. But if it was used probably like 3-4 days or even a week, then chances are that people are not really looking for that anymore. So yeah, do your good research on your hashtags. Maybe write down a table like this And also after you've done this, like make a combination and you can write down these hashtags here like I did, like a good copy that you can just insert in your post. And maybe you will spend these 3 hours the first time, but whenever you start posting more, then you will just copy and paste and it will be easier. Also, I just came across that there's this app that is hashtag expert, and I haven't used it yet because I want to give this a go before I actually pay for a service. But apparently what they do is that they find the best hashtags for you, and they also kind of like tell you when your audience is most active. So that can be really useful in the future. Maybe I will try it later and tell you what I think about it. The final thing about hashtags is to maybe include like a couple of hashtags that have to do with your brand, so that you just start growing and maybe somebody hears from you and just writes down your brand, they will easily find your posts. And finally, to include a couple of accounts that are basically dedicated to share content so that they grow a massive following and then they charge you for you to get shared or promoted. But sometimes these accounts have like a hashtag just there for you to use, and they'll probably see your art, and if they think that it matches with whatever they post, they will just share your content for free. This is one example, artist features. So you can see that they have like a large amount of uses, and you will see that their top posts like are being shared, and you will see they have a lot of likes and they have a lot of engagement. Which brings us to my next point of the research that I did. And I know that I mentioned that what you need to do is to improve your art, to focus on your art, or that you hear this everywhere. But apparently, or maybe the best way for you to actually grow an audience on any social platform, including Instagram, is not to create only good content, but also to create shareable content. Because the way to actually grow exponentially is that people or the platform that you're posting wants to share your content. And yes, that means that your content needs to be good. So you need to find ways to actually post things that people want to share them. And why would people want to share your content? I think that to answer this question, you need to think about on what would you like to share. I think that myself, my friends probably want to share something that gives value, or maybe something that is really funny. Like sometimes you want to be like you're in a conversation with your friends and you want to show them something that is super interesting or something that it's just trending at the moment. So whenever you start your next artwork, just ask yourself like, how is this shareable? Is people going to want to share this? And probably you're sharing something that will be useful for other artists. Like maybe you find a really good resource of brushes of Procreate that right now has a discount. Maybe you can do an artwork that includes those brushes and just send that out and be like, hey, I use these brushes and right now they have a discount. And I think that focusing on that quality and shareable content will make a really huge difference. Aside from that, in the book, they also tell you to make good use of these accounts that are sharing, and for you to try like a good number of these accounts. Because some of these accounts, they will for sure share it and charge you some money, but their audience are actually not that organic, or maybe they're full of bots, or maybe they're just like accounts that are really old and people are not following them anymore. So they tell you to try out different of these accounts and see which ones are getting you more engagement rather than likes. And once you have like a good idea on which one works best, then you just stick with that and maybe invest more money on that. And last but not least, I wanted to tell you about my own experience for the past 2 weeks that I created my account, and I wanted to show you. So here is my page, and you can see that I only have 6 posts and I have 39 followers and 34 following. Now, this account, I purposely didn't mention it to anyone, like my friends don't know that they exist. So these followers, aside from Isa, are all like people that I don't know. And I spend my good time doing the hashtags and also explaining the cause that I do with this mask, which is like to help the environment, in the hopes that if somebody watches this, like kind of like gets the story of Wall of Nam and wants to share it, because whenever you see this or whenever you support this, you're also helping an animal cause, which is one of the main goals that I have for this project. Now, another thing that I'm trying is that since I want people to get familiar with my content, I am going to be creating both masks that are from my own creation and from animals that are currently endangered, but also to make masks that people are really familiar with. So these illustrations of wallpaper that I did, I also like mentioned that I am giving them away for free if they go to my Gumroad and they download those. So that is currently my strategy. And also I wanted to tell you a little bit about videos, which is basically what you want to be focusing right now, because I'm going to show you. You see that I only have 39 followers here, and my most liked picture is actually my first one, which is this one that has 26 likes. But just as I was making these masks, I also started to do reels showing the process, and you will see that they have 5,000 views in these ones. My lowest one has like more than 1,000. So this is really cool because I have more eyes to my artwork this way. Now that said, I was going to like finish this video by saying that just make reels because that's like the best way to go. But I tried to upload a reel like maybe 5 days ago, and suddenly I got like 3 views or something like that, like from thousands to 3 views only. And I started to do my research, and I saw that Instagram basically maybe sees something that they don't like and they will just ban you, or they will just hide your content from everyone. And I got really frustrated because I was actually like feeling punished by being constant. So which brings us to that first part that I was telling you about. Like, a lot of people tell you to be really constant in your art on Instagram and stuff like that, but maybe sometimes it actually doesn't happen that way. I continued to do some research, and they tell you that sometimes Instagram punishes you for posting a lot of content. Now, I don't know if this is true, but it just happened to me. And what I did was to delete the reel and wait for a couple of days and repost it, and it was this last one, and you can see that it got the views that I was expecting, or more than 3 views at least. And then the next day I posted another reel, and it also got like 5 views or something like that. So I just deleted, and I am going to wait for it like to pass another 2 days or something, and then post it again to see how it goes. But what I mean is that I don't know how the algorithm works, and probably it punishes you for like being a spammer or something. But definitely posting reels are going to get you more views than posts right now, because like, you know, Instagram is like competing and doing their best to beat TikTok, which I think it's kind of like bad in some ways, but it can also benefit us artists because if they're willing to help you to get your content shared, then make use of that. Anyway, so that's it for this video. I hope that some of these tips or some of this knowledge is useful for you. I will be updating you on how I go. And also, speaking about that, I am not so sure what to do with this channel. I think that it would be cool for me to show you guys like maybe some drawing tutorials, and also I was thinking about making this more like a blog, like I show you what I do every day, like instead of like summarizing everything that I do in the week. But let me know what you think about that. Maybe I can try out different things, like maybe go slowly, like 1 week one type of video, and another one type of video, and so on. And you can tell me which one you prefer. What I want to do is to keep creating content, to keep giving you knowledge, and to see where this goes, and to try out different things and see where they take us. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you're doing awesome, and I will leave you with some booba footage as usual. See you in the next one. Bye bye.